Hello, faith leaders. Welcome to Breaktime, Philippians 4:9. Whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put into practice, and the peace of God will be with you. Oh man, I just love the way that Paul is so confident in his relationship with Christ. It's so tight that he practices what God is telling him to practice. What he hears, he puts into practice. And so therefore, as a result of this confidence that he has with God, he can say things like, put into practice what I'm teaching you. You know, first and foremost, we need to be teachable to the Word of God. We need to be teachable to those who are training us and equipping us and empowering us to be all that Christ has entitled us to be. There's a stage of being learning. Learning is a stage of being willing to be taught. But you know what? It's one thing to learn. It's a whole nother thing to practice what you're learning. And so I think sometimes we can learn an awful lot and we can fill our minds up. But knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. So we take what we learn. Not only do we learn it, but we actually put it into practice. I compare this to exercising. It's one thing to watch I do them on video. It's one thing to watch the exercise video. It's a whole nother thing to get up and start practicing put into practice what they're teaching me. It's the same way it is with our faith. We can hear these awesome sermons. We can read the Word of God, and man, that was good. But now what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do with the Word of God that you've been taught? And if we just sit there, we become fat Christians. If we just sit and obtain all this information and knowledge and we're learning it, man, we know all about God. But you know what? Knowing about God and practicing your faith can be two separate things. And knowing about God is putting into practice your faith, the things that God has asked you to do here in this world to make His name known. And you know what follows that promise? When we start practicing what we've been taught, when we put into practice, you know what follows that is peace. Chances are, if you're struggling with having peace in your life, look and see if there's an area in your life that you're really not practicing in. If there's an area of your faith that you've just stopped growing in because it's become too difficult and you don't want to take the steps forward, I challenge you today, practice what you've been taught.